There we go, guys. We're up and rolling. Welcome to the replay. Anyone watching this over in the future over there. Guys, nice to see you again. We're doing a Martyr live stream. I know it's been a little while, hasn't it? We need to talk about this game. There's lots of new people fresh and excited about playing it, about buying it, about seeing it. So let's give them a little bit of footage to look at. What I think we'll be doing is making a new Psyker today. Give us something to play with, some customization, in quotes. And, well, hopefully some flashy abilities and such. So let's make a Psyker. Let's just make him, call him Pew. And let's go. Newt, what's up, Vaz? How you doing, my friend? That's right. We're back on this game. I know it's been ages. It has been a while. Right, we're going to skip the introduction scene just because you guys have seen it so much. I'm going to be blitzing through the opening tutorial part. There's no reason to drag it out. We're just going to make it nice and quick. And then we're going to see how much we can level this guy in about 2 to 3 hours. That's right, I'm going for a proper streaming session today. Nothing half-arsed and short. Okay, is the Psyker still OP as fuck compared to the I would say probably yes. I would say yes, Vaz, and the main reason is because you can basically replace redundant abilities with useful ones, or basically with buffs. That's where the Psyker really comes into his own, is you might have 1 or 2 damaging abilities and the other 2 or 3 might be redundant. But you can swap those for buffs. And on the other classes, you can't. And that on its own, I think, is something they probably didn't really take into account when they actually made this. By having some customization and others not customizable, well, it really sort of changes how everything works. Right. Got a few buffs on myself now, for an example. There you go, loads of damage. Yo, what's up, Chatman? I'm going to call you Chatman now. Alexander, how's it going? How is it going? Right, we are rocking, we're cooking. Do feel free, those of you that are subs, to spam some emotes. I don't know, I can't remember how many subs we're up to now, but we've got enough for emotes. Another 2 emotes on the way. Do feel free to have a little spam over there. I'm so happy with them. So happy. Right. Yes, several thousand is doable. I mean, it depends what ability, but yes, the Psyker needs a big old slap with the Nerf bat. A big old slap. Right, let's skip all of this crappies. I'm not going to be going the most damaging build, because I'm going to be going a pistol build. Just because I like the actual, I like the playstyle a little bit more. I mean, anyone can do the old, what do you call it, the old channeled beam ability. What's up, Lawrence? How you doing, my friend? Anyone can do that build, and it's broken. Anyone can do the random fire explosions that just kill everything on the screen build. That's kind of, you know, been there, done that, seen that 100 times. We're going to go something a bit more janky. Maybe a plasma pistol. Maybe we'll keep it a heat-based build and go plasma pistol. I'm not entirely sure yet. That would also give us option for a las pistol. Ooh, don't like those. Inferno pistol, though. No, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. That's an idea. Well, we'll just see what comes up. But bearing in mind we can't respec currently, so whatever we pick, we're sodding stuck with. Although Megapool, one of the community member and developers, no, sorry, community sort of management team, whatever you call it. Community manager and developer will get there in the end. He is saying that he's trying to see if they can get the respec in before launch. I mean, there is still a month to go, and it would be nice, I'm going to be honest, it would be nice of me to be able to even do build videos again, to, you know, go through some stuff that might be useful for new players. Here's how to make builds. I mean, the system's not going to change that much from now till launch. It's just going to be the actual stats that change. We'll see. We'll see. So what else have we got? We've got a staff ability that's also single target. I don't quite get why I would use that over... Let's actually have a little compare of damage. Let's turn on tactical here. Pistol, 129. Staff, 93. Okay, pistol's not too bad. Whoa, 47. That's highly erratic number. Right, okay, so there's no overkill on the numbers. Just figured that out. You know what? After playing this for 15 months, I've just realised that there's no overkill on the numbers. So if something dies with a lot less health, that's because it didn't have the health to lose. Oh my god. I have just figured that out, and that makes a lot of sense as to why these numbers are quite erratic and why people might see really small crits, like that number there, 17. Oh my god, I have just had a light bulb fucking moment. Oh my god. If anyone's ever seen a critical hit that is a tiny number, that is why. It's probably because it was killing blow. Right, let's do some buffs. Let's do some buffs. Oh my god, I feel like I need to do a video on that now. How have I never I've never even noticed that. Oh my word. But did anyone else know that, or is that just me? Was anyone else aware of that? That we don't have an overkill function with numbers? I'm going to have a little chat with the staff. See if they can... Because I can't say that that's actually a particularly great idea. Because it makes it really confusing as to why you get really small intermittent numbers. And if I've played this for a year and a half and never realised, there's surely a lot of other people that wouldn't too. Yes, Jones, but had you realised, my friend, had you realised... in my defence, I've played with numbers turned off for the past year. I don't really like them, I've just turned them on because of this tactical view. But there you go, there you go. 99% of the last year, I've always played numbers off, just because I don't like watching them. I don't like the habit I got into with Diablo 3, where it's just, you end up just waiting for big numbers rather than just enjoying the actual game. Didn't really like it, numbers turned off, enjoyed the game a lot more. Granted, it's harder to see what sort of your damage is looking like, but really, if you're killing an enemy in 2 hits, you know, it doesn't matter if you're hitting them for 5 million or 500 million. If they die in 2 hits, they die in 2 hits. That's kind of how, that's my outlook on things these days. It's all about how long it takes to kill stuff. Oh, give me an AoE. Lordy, lordy, give me an AoE. Do I not I don't actually have an AoE on this build. I mean, you got the rapid fire, I guess that kind of counts for something. How are we doing for game volume, by the way, guys? Are we okay? Fair enough, Jones, fair enough. Well, you clearly are a smarter man than I. Right, or more attentive. As I say, it's always been very inconsistent, but then again, I've never looked for numbers. I've just accepted numbers are all over the place. But that's good to know. That's good to know. If they're looking for people, if players are confused as to why they see small, tiny crits, I've never seen that in a forum over the entire year. I've seen plenty of people complaining that their damage numbers are so inconsistent and they don't seem to make any sense. I've never seen a single person write down that's because they don't have any overkill damage factored into the number. But there you go. There you go. We're learning as we go, guys. Even after playing this for a year and a half, we're learning as we go. So has anyone here not bought the game and curious? Anyone on the fence? Today's video is actually about being on the fence. Today's video is going to be published about half an hour after this stream. And it is... Oh, I keep thinking Escape's going to close that. It is about whether or not you should buy it. And as per usual, I'm not going to give you an answer, but hopefully I'm going to help you come up with an answer yourself. I'm going to have a little mini rant here, but I really can't stand it when people that write guides tell people that they should either buy or not buy it, because you don't know what that person likes. You don't know what that person's happy with. You don't know what that person wants. You can only give them the info and tell them to make their own mind up. That's one of my little triggers in life. I find a lot of reviews don't actually tell me what I want to know, they just tell me what the person playing it thinks of it, if you know what I mean. So if ever I drift into that style of review, I want you guys to give me a firm, swift kick to the bollocks and say, Hydra, sort it out. Right, so we got some buffs. Should have some damage now. And we've only really got like 1 damaging ability though. Okay, we've got 3, but one of them's just a lot better. We're assuming they're all fleshbanes anyway. Right. Come on. Now, how quick are we going to kill this guy? Because these guys are currently taking ages. Well, he's regenning, so I'm just going to let him do that regen thing for a moment. Right, let's see No, change. Ah, we do have. I forgot about that, you know. I forgot I had a second weapon. We do have an AoE. Does that apply a slow? Kind of looks like it does. Right, here we go. Oh, the damage. The hot, spicy damage is coming in. Let's go, boys. Come on. Okay, let's not use that. That's going to be a bit better. Come on. Buff, buff. Oh, my word. No, Nyoko, no. Oh, my God. I hate this so much. Oh, my God. How to give players the worst first impression. I'm a new character. I've just been on this for a minute or two. And I find a guy that's like watching paint dry fucking kill. Come on. That's got to go. That's got to change. Oh yeah, I'm going this way. Those guys' health. I mean, it's nice that they gave them a buff. And it feels adequately balanced later on. But in early game, ugh. This isn't even on a flexible difficulty. This is just the standard difficulty. So that's got to change. The interrogator pack. Ooh. Dead gaming PC. Oh, sad face. Sad face. Well, I hope you get things sorted. On the plus side. Autumn. Maybe a fall in graphics card prices. So might save you a few bucks. I hear they're on the down. 25% saving in the last month. Not that that helps because they're all out of stock. I've been on the hunt for a graphics card the last couple of days, looking to get that upgrade so we can do some upgraded resolution work. However, unfortunately, everywhere is sold out of the high-end stuff, and if it's not sold out, it's grossly overpriced. And Hydra does not like grossly overpriced. Come on. I got my last GPU for a very reasonable price. I got an RX 480 back when there wasn't this stupid mining craze. Okay, well at least he's not regenning like a mofo. I mean, it's still pretty ridiculous though. Rah. Maybe we should kill the Marauder first, seeing as he regens nice and slowly. How about we pull this out and we do some AoEs. There we go. Sploosh, sploosh, sploosh. ATI 560. I don't even know what that is. Yo, what's up, Jonas? How you doing, my friend? Right. Back to killing this thing. Buff number 1. Buff number 2. Another inoculator. This is definitely far worse than the other class options to start with. The pistol variant. Good lord. Needs a little bit of help, doesn't it? Really needs a little bit of help. Oh, I guess we'll kill the banner too, just to be on the safe side. Leave no trace of heresy. Begone, thought. Begone. There we go. Adequate progress indeed. Oh, and there's another one to kill.
That's unlucky.
I mean, I could get the grenades from there. No grenades. I don't even have grenades. Okay. Grenades. Maybe if I lure him over.
Curse you, Inquisitor.
Come to me. Oh. Come to me. Haha! He fell into my trap. What surprise. He was totally not expecting that.
Such a fine trophy.
Oh, I would like some chandeliers to knock down from the ceiling, and I know I spent ages complaining about chandeliers previously within this game getting in the way visually, but some levers you can pull, some trapdoors, I don't know. Some other environmental stuff you can use. No, let's not shoot the swarm. Okay, let's get some buffs again. Come on. There we go. There we go. We're cooking. No. Shooting the swarm again. There we go. Nice. We're getting there. We're getting there. Another 3 missions or so, and we're going to be ready and steady to... What are we going to be steady to do? To customize our build a little bit. Huzzah. We're not going to have an amazing set of abilities to start off with. Looking forward to seeing the telekinetic skill tree come launch. And in the future as well, there will be more There will be more trees available. Chaz, I am indeed playing the Psyker right now. I decided to go for this just to give a little showcase off as to how it works. Unfortunately, with a lack of respec feature, although I can change my skills, I won't be able to change my spec. But we'll figure something out. We'll figure something out. Right. We're going to make a... I don't know what type of build right now. Something amazing. I think we're going to go for the option where we're going to do double damage on the first hit against all targets, and we're going to go with a plasma pistol, and we're just going to be literally blowing the nuts off of stuff. Aiming for some high spike damage, single target damaging sort of stuff. Something like that. We'll figure it out as we go. We'll do a little bit of buildcraft while we're here. What do I think of the soundtrack? I like it. It's not the best soundtrack in the world. Some tracks I like more than others. I think it's adequate. It's what they wanted. It's not what a lot of people want. I'll give you that, because a lot of people want the more orchestral, plain chant type music that we're used to, sort of Chaos Gate. They want the more, well, basically orchestral melodic stuff. This has gone a little bit more sci-fi in terms of direction, but I do like it. I do like it, absolutely. Right, let's tick a few things here, tick a few things here. Right, there we go. Right, we've unlocked a plasma pistol. That's good. So I'd actually like to use one. Right, so now we can actually bring up our character, and we can interchange these. We've also got movement speed for every kill, which is okay. It's not my favourite, but it will do. I quite like this one. Below half health, you suffer a lot less damage. I like that quite a lot. Maximum suppression resist when killing medium or elite enemies is alright. I think we'll stick with movement speed, in all honesty. Now, what are we going to go for here? We can go for warp damage, that's alright. We can go for suppression per hit, movement speed, that's not too bad. Got 9 of these points to spend, so let's see what we can get. Damage against demons, that's okay. Not amazing though. Warp heat per psyker, blah blah blah. Cooldown for spells. Cooldown I would work towards, however I'm not going to be able to afford it, but I would probably work toward that. 10% cooldown is pretty nice. 5% movement speed's not too bad though. All resistances, HP and suppression resist is pretty good. I think for now we'll just stick it in damage. We'll do a couple there, and we can get one more here. We can either go inocular effect plus 1 second. Yeah, plus 1 inoculator effects. I think that's probably a good option. It'll make it heal a little bit more, make it do a little bit more damage. Now, I don't have access currently to my bridge, which is unfortunate, because this means that I cannot... Oh, got a purple item, fair enough. No, oh, I didn't want that one. No, I want a pistol. Sorry, lad. You're going to have to make do with a single-handed staff. Sorry indeed. Right, what other armour do we have? Ooh, that looks a little bit better. We need one, though. We really need one that has a skill ability. Much, much, much preferred. Much preferred. So what do we got there? No good and no good. So basically we'll stick with the original one. We'll change those round, and we'll do some extra equipping of these new items here. Job done. Bob's your uncle. Skill points. We could probably start spending some now while we're here. Let's have a little look. Digital soundtrack code. It's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I think you're probably not going to be sat here. You sent a friend invite. Yeah, absolutely, Lawrence. Do feel free, my friend. Do feel free. Just add me on Steam. You can see my name. A 1080. I'd like a 1080. I'm looking for a TI, but to be honest, I'm looking for a TI that's not horrendously overpriced, as they all are at the moment. Some of the soundtrack I like, but I would be surprised if you sit there in your spare time listening to it. It's sort of... I want the soundtrack so I can put it over videos, primarily. And because it's to do with the game, I can get away with that copyright-wise. Don't need suppression damage. Don't need that at all. Critical hit chance at maximum warp heat I might go for, because I actually really like spawning anomalies. I think it's a lot of fun. Just having some stuff to dodge. 1%, no, not going to bother with that. I personally am not a big fan. Not going to bother with that. We're going to go for loads of crit damage. Now we're going to go for a single target up here. We're going to go for 4% damage for all single target. Nope. There you go. That is 5.5% damage for 2 points spent for all of that, which is nice. Plus 20% damage to all single target skills at maximum warp heat. That I like too, because we're going to go for a max warp heat build here. That's the aim anyway, to max our warp heat out nice and early. Killing with a single target attack reduces the skill's cooldown by 30%. That is possibly quite useful, and we'll see how that works with a plasma pistol. Now, one of the ones I do quite like is enemies losing 50% or more HP from a single target attack are knocked down. It is nice, but it's not it's only useful for killing trash, and you can put knockdown on any old ability on the Psyker, so we're going to move on from that. So we're going to go for the extra critical hit up here, and the range cooldown for moves of a greater than a second is quite useful when you're in cover. I do actually quite like that. Extra stuff here, useful. 1, 2, 3, 4% crit. Cooling time of overheated weapons, I'm hopefully not going to need. So I'm not going to work toward that right now, because I'm hopefully not going to need to vent. We're going to go heat damage, because I'm going to be rocking a plasma pistol, and hopefully the heat damage will also transfer over to some of my Psyker abilities. So energy and heat weapons deal extra damage, blah, 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 based on how much heat they have. It's worth using. For 1 point invested, it's worth using. Now, we have energy and heat weapons generate less heat. Very, very handy. Damage and critical chance. This one I always and over. It's a lot of extra damage. It's 5% less critical hit. I'm going to just shy away from it for now, because I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure on the maths as to how much impact that'll have. Critical hits will give a burning effect I like. I like that, and I'll show you why in a moment. Heat damage for every Pyromancer skill might be useful, but I probably won't use that many. And critical hits give a vulnerability stacking, very, very useful. Now we're going to go for burn effects last longer and block HP regeneration. Really, really nice one to use with this build. Basically means whenever I crit something, it's no longer going to be regenerating health. Very, very nice, and minus 20% damage taken when they are burning. So basically, if I crit something, it's going to do 20% less damage to me, which is nice. Right. 20% less damage taken when in cover, I also really like. I would highly recommend. I think it's very good. You just take 20% less damage for using the cover system. Very, very convenient. Hit point tree, we're going to go for the mandatory. Whenever your character's HP is reduced below 25%, as it passes that threshold, the cooldown resets. If you use it and you heal up, but your health never goes back above 25%, it doesn't reset the cooldown. Just be aware of that. Support tree, there are some okay ones here. If you wanted to go for less stuff, heat generated, you could put your main spamming ability in the grenade slot, actually, and generate a lot less heat. That would be quite useful. So we find ourselves with 8 points left and a few options here. This is where the build becomes personalized to me. We can look at the ranged combat tree, and there are quite a few options here. Now, I'm not going to have any slow shock, stuns or freezes unless I apply them to one of my Psyker abilities, which is possible, which would give me another 20% damage, but I'm not 100% convinced I need that right now. I'm probably going to lean towards going with sort of this side of the tree, which is just going to do extra stuff based on how far away they are. Extra 10% when you're basically doing a good job of kiting is pretty good. So I think going for that is a pretty good option. I don't have a rapid fire skill unless I use a las pistol. I personally think the las pistol is poo-poo, so I probably won't be using that. Now, the hit point suppression tree, I could go for some tankiness. I've got 5 points left here, 5 points left. If we briefly go over to my plasma pistol just to check out what it does. Normally you'd look at this first so you actually know what it does. Single target demolish or assault. That's going to be our main spammer, although with the 3-second cooldown here, this will be used fairly often. What I'm thinking I'll lean towards is I probably will, just for safety, go with this. So we're going to have 60% extra heat reduction bonus because we got some from the heat attack tree too. So basically we're going to chuck out heat nice and quick. I might be tempted to actually go into the defense tree. Let's just have a little see here what I can do with 4 points. I can get not too bad, 10% movement speed, not too bad. 10% when not in combat is convenience, but that's going to be one of my, like, when I'm level 90, I'll pick that up. Support tree, debuff tree, I would normally go for armor breaking, armor piercing, but the primary attack isn't, which I don't really understand. I might actually leave these 4 points here and maybe use them within the psychic combat, psychic debuff over here. So maybe we'll go for critical hit or with one of them. We're just going to keep those 4 points as a spares. So let's crack on, carry on with the missions. Hope you found that of some use. That's sort of my general thought process when making a build. This is the Psyker doing his Psyker things. We don't have customizable, interchangeable abilities yet unlocked for this character, but it's something we can look forward to. I'm especially excited to try out the buff that's going to allow me to do, I think it's 70% bonus damage to the first hit from every hit on a character.
Calm before the storm.
Okay, yep, calm before storm, gotcha. Let's roll. So I'm looking forward to trying that ability, because we've got sort of bonus to kinetic damage, which is something I need to change rather quickly, because, well, the plasma pistol is not kinetic damage. And we've also got something that reduces the enemy armor type by 1. So if they're sort of heavy, they turn to light. If they're light, they're no longer armored, they're naked. Which is cool. I like the idea of it. And it's sort of, it's got some potential, that one does. Oh boy. Oh boy. I dig it. Right, let's move on with those. I'm really hoping they do get voice acted. I'd like to listen to some actual narrative while I'm playing through this. Damage is looking good. 1 hit per kill. I mean, now I'm vastly over-leveled for this. Let's just sort of take that into account here. I am far, far too high with all these skill points. This is one of those things where these missions where they don't have a choosable difficulty, kind of like, why am I having to do this? Can't I just skip ahead, please? But I'm hopeful that even the tutorial will be having a difficulty choice system when the game comes out. That way, those of us that already have loads of skill points unlocked, and I don't think they're going to change the... Ooh, damage is looking good, isn't it? We're getting there. I don't think they're going to change the system where you keep the skill points, because that's their interpretation of New Game Plus. So the thing is with Martyr is it doesn't have difficulty tiers. It's always got this... the best way to describe it is you can basically just choose the difficulty by choosing what mission you want to do. And there's always something harder and there's always something easier. So you go to the area and choose the difficulty that way. It's on like a slider. It's the best way to visualize it. It's not on a selector. You don't select it from multiple options. It's on like a slider. That's how I visualize it anyway, but you guys know what I mean. And that also continues within the New Game Plus model, which is where you start the game with a new character. You have lots of stat bonuses from the previous ones, and therefore you can play the harder content, basically. And you don't skip content per se. You just play it at a higher difficulty, and the impact of that means you get slightly, and I do mean slightly more in terms of experience and the such. So yes, you propel through the game at a slightly faster rate, but you get better items faster. You get more purples, you get more relics, you get more... You're going to get a more interesting build possibility very quickly compared to doing it on an easy difficulty. And that's kind of what I like. Because if I'm making a second character, I'm going to play it through and I'm going to have purple items. Well, you've seen that I've got... Well, having said that, this isn't even customizable difficulty and I'm already getting pretty good loot. But I think that's the idea, that when you play with your second character, you're going to be getting purples and relics. You're going to be getting the pieces of candy that you're used to because you can play on the higher difficulties. If you don't play at the higher difficulty and you play at the same difficulty that the first playthrough was with, then you're kind of just in a boosting situation where you can just run through and steamroll content. And I get for a lot of people, I mean, some people might want to do that. I personally wouldn't, because... having said that, reaching endgame quickly does have its appeal, assuming that the endgame is good. I guess we can come back to that in another time. But that's something to think about. That's something to think about. It's, ooh, okay, we've got a sword. Don't need it. We've got, I mean, we could equip it, I guess. Yeah, go on then. Let's equip a sword. Sword. So what do we got for the sword? Just a basic smacker mobility. Hell, not particularly interesting. All right, let's have a look here. That's no good. Got one of these. How about them apples? Another purple. That's no good. And, ooh, slight upgrade. There we go. For now, just focusing on power rating. just focusing on power rating as my primary stat. I really don't give a crap about picking the stuff that's got crit right now and avoiding the stuff that's got physical damage. The stats are so small and little right now. Just focus on power rating for a while and then slowly start looking at other stuff. If you're looking at 1 or 2 power rating and you want to be min-maxing, yes, you should be looking at those other stats. But by the time I've looked and made a build, I could be the next level already. It's just not worth it. It is really just not worth it. Right, are we starting? Oh my god, we're here again. This bloody place. Good lord. How are you all doing in the chat, by the way? Everyone having a nice weekend? I'm so happy today's one of the first days in 2 weeks I've not had a banging headache. Feels so good. Feels so good. I might even celebrate with, I don't know, a beer and a takeaway later, just to try and see if I can get a headache again. I don't know. I'm kind of cautious right now. I think I might even eat sensible for a week. Jesus, don't get flu. Flu fucking sucks. Raining. Oh, dang. I haven't even looked out the window. No, I have looked out the window. I took the garbage out. But I have absolutely no idea what the weather's doing right now. Absolutely no idea. That's another thing Hydra needs to think about. It's just got me thinking about my little office space here. I would really like to have a space where I can actually have like a screen in the background and, you know, sit down and actually talk to you face to face. I find it more comfortable talking off of camera, but it's something that I would aim to do. But unfortunately, my current living space just doesn't really. I can't put the desk that way around, so whatever I do, you're going to get a lovely view of my little second bedroom in the background. But I don't know. I don't know. There's bigger things in life to worry about than that, I think. But Hydra ponders. While we're here, guys, while you're watching, if you haven't jumped in and joined the Discord, do feel free to jump on in. There should be a link down below. If not, perhaps if one of the mods can share the old Discord invite in the chat. If you're not one of the mods, Nightbot will Rochambeau you. But do feel free to jump on in. We've got the Hydra Discord. We're a nice bunch. I will say that with confidence, but there is a really nice bunch of people in there. Normally there's a few people playing Martyr, I will be honest. Out of like the 100 of us, quite a lot are currently sleeping and just waiting for Martyr to release its stuff. A lot of us have been playing it for so long that, well, we're just quite happy having a little chill out, to be honest, playing other games and such. Deep Space Rock Galactic, oh my word, oh my word. Good times, good times. Right, let's move down here.
Well then, that was...
Pow, pow, pow. Well, have a nice breakfast, my friend. Have a nice breakfast. Best thing to do if you want to chat with me, though, is to jump in the Discord. My Steam list is forever growing, and it's. I do sometimes have to put some of the messages to the background on days when I have like 10 to wake up to. Discord, I just find a little bit easier to interact with. It's easier to have a conversation on. So.
Inquisitor, listen to me. The monastery is...
I am in the middle of something.
Oh man, that's one of my triggers. When you've got conversations in-game and you're supposed to interrupt someone mid-speech and there's a second pause in the middle. It's like, she just paused awkwardly for no reason, and then a few seconds later I'm like, I have come to interrupt you. It's just, it sounds so staged, you know? It sounds so staged, and it's hard to get that right, I'm sure, but it's one of my triggers in films when that happens. When there's that tiny little pause and you're like, man, that interruption was so scripted. Ah, man. The small things, the first world problems, I tell you. Sunday morning relaxation. That's what Sundays are for, isn't it? Flyers versus penguins later. I have not heard of that, my friend. That sounds funky. Hang on, is this sports? In which case, I have no idea which two those teams are in I don't even know what sport they're in reference to. Penguins? Is that a TV show? Correct me. I'm completely out of the loop. Oh my word. Oh my word. That's the trouble when you name sports teams after frickin' animals. Gets confusing for us English. We just name them after places. And then we name them conveniently football club. Oh, right, okay, the Discord link is not working. Right, we need someone to fix that. Right, just working on it, guys. Can you come spam Discord? Right. Hopefully I've got someone in the case. Lilandra, are you? I don't think I've actually got you modded at the mo, do I? I'll tell you what, I'll pull up a new link. If I pull up a new link, if I go for create instant invite, edit options, no limit, expire after, never. Generate new link, copy, and I'm going to put it in chat, and then some of the mods can just copy and paste it as and when.
Oh, the thundering blast of weapons. I wish my
there you go, that should work. If you want to repost it at all, feel free to repost that. That should work. Quote unquote, should. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Right. Okay. Let's keep killing stuff. Are we done yet? I have to say, this is one of the missions where I'm really hopeful in the final product that this gets some real revision. It's not bad, it just... Oh, maybe I can save these turrets. That's an idea and a half.
Inquisitor,
Maybe I can save them to kill the Hellbrute. Do you reckon? We'll find out. If so, that's pretty cool. Yeah, guys, if the Discord link doesn't work, do let me know. Oh, the cover's dead. I don't think I've even seen that before. I wonder if this guy can even die. Probably not. Probably not. Yeah, do feel free to jump on in, check it out, say hey. We're a good bunch. We're a good bunch. We talk about the game from time to time. It's mostly shit posting, I will be honest. It's a lot of shit posting, but it's fun. Right. It's a shame that when you only have one plasma pistol, you don't get the amazing piercing attack that literally just goes through a wall of enemies. It's working. Good stuff. Thank you very much, Lilandra. Or Alexander. Sorry. What a muppet I am. What a muppet I am. And what I'll do, Alexander, because you're one of the subs, I think what I'll do is I'll grant subs access to the Patreon feed as well via that, but we'll chat about that later. We'll chat about that later. There we go. Even the emote's working. There you go. Hail Hydra. Oh my word. Good times, good times. But yes, I was thinking about that. It sort of seems... I've got a patron-only feed in the YouTube, and that, I mean, if you're a YouTube subscriber, like, you're still supporting me. I don't see any reason to... We'll think about that. Hydra admin needs to be done. I tell you, I need an assistant. I need a beautiful assistant. I've got lots of beautiful assistants, actually. I've got Lilandra and Charlie, and I've got a couple of others that sort of shit post all day. Right, where am I going? Are we still fighting them? Oh my god, come on! I just want to go. This is, yeah. Not one of my favourite missions. Let's put it that way. Let's put it that way. Not one of my highlights. Are we done? Oh, no, no. More to go. I mean, maybe if you go and put the turrets inside there. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. Right. Jones, what are you?
Ready to fight.
I don't know, mate. A southerner. A Cornish bloke. I don't know what the question's meaning. You caught me.
You are truly doing...
I'm not sure what you're asking. You're a lovely person? Right. We can summon turrets in here. Oh boy. Oh boy. How to wreck the Hellbrute. Guide with Hydra. You got... Oh my god, you just got pwned, my friend. Mar, mar, said the turret. E-I-E-I-O. Let's go. Well, that's an interesting thing I didn't know you could do. And probably a good thing for investigations when you do have to call turrets to actually use them when you come to a difficult enemy. What amazing knowledge from Hydra. What amazing understanding of such detail and mechanics that he brings to us. Use a situational ability in a difficult situation. Good lord, I should write a book on this. But in all seriousness, actually saving them for a boss is probably a good idea. Because they are, without a doubt, hopefully going to be the hardest stuff. Ooh, immersive cutscene. Camera panning around. This is very, very Neo-core. Have a little panning camera, show you around. I mean, they made all of these maps with this sort of upstairs and downstairsy elements and then made the game 2D, so they might as well use the camera to show it off a little bit. All the assets are still there underneath. I mean, heck, some of the maps look better from underneath.
Vast expanses of the Imperium. How hard could it be?
Are we done? Please say we haven't crashed here. Hello? Ah, there we go. I just had to press escape. What a mess. Right. Psychic powers. So we've got warp speed. Not particularly interested in that. So these are the two that I've got access to 3 at the moment, don't I? Right, okay. So the ones I really want are not that one. Bonus to kinetic attacks. That's kind of pointless. Changing the armor of enemies. What I really want is divine shots. For 30 seconds, the first hit on each target does a plus 100% damage. Galv, how you doing, my friend? There you go. Yeah, it would be nice, Alex. I'm not entirely sure what happened with that. I can only presume they came to the conclusion within the tile-based system that it just wasn't going to work. Maybe. We'll have to see. So, the ability I don't want up here, Misfortune, I can handle. That's actually of some use. We'll go for that and we'll pop that in here and we'll go for Hemorrhage, just to put a bleeding dot on the enemies. That could be fairly good. I mean, you can easily work that into quite a nice build. If you get a burn and a bleed, then it is kind of not a bad idea to think about the damage over time tree, because then you're going to do 30% damage to them. You can use the bleed to apply a slow. Bleeding enemies are slowed as well. That is very cool, because you apply a bleed to people, then all of a sudden then you can actually be using this tree. The range damage does extra, 20% extra damage if they're slowed, shocked, stunned or frozen. It's very, very good. And slows and this combination is nice. The only difficulty is because of the suppression system. If you're not suppressing elite and difficult enemies very quickly, then you're never going to apply the slow. Then you're never going to do the extra damage. So it's something to think about. Gregory, how's it going, my friend? How is it going? I'll call you Greg. Right, I think that's all we need. We can't really do much else to upgrade our stuff right now, although we do have a mastery, I think, for each of these, so we should probably upgrade the mastery. So we've got Misfortune. We could probably do duration on that, I guess. 10 seconds is not particularly long, is it? I mean, we can buff it up to 15, but that's not... It's not that great, is it? 15 seconds, or we can lower the cooldown by 25%. I mean, that's maybe... I mean, either way, it's... Yeah. 45 seconds, 10 out of 45, or 15 out of 60. I think we'll go 10 out of 45, just so we've got it available a little bit more often. Hemorrhage will go for probably cooldown. It's on a 10-second cooldown. I don't really care about warp heat cost. I just want to kill stuff. But of course the extra damage is quite nice as well. Extra damage, 9 DPS, meh. We'll go for that, sod it. Let's not spend too long in here. Let's crack on with the missions and let's move. It snowed last night, damn. Whereabouts are you, my friend? Ain't no snow up here.
This is Meta Surgeon Agrippa 723.
I'd like your portrait to be fixed, please. That still triggers me. Hey ho. Welcome to the chat, anyone that's new here, by the way. Nice to have you all in. I hope you enjoy your stay. I hope you find the channel useful. I hope there's enough videos here to keep you informed. Today is going to be a video after this stream. It's already uploaded. I just need to do the thumbnail for it. We're going to be talking about, should you buy Inquisitor Martyr? And I'm hopefully going to have a little talk about... And I'm not going to even be selling the game. I'm not even going to promote it. I'm literally going to talk to you about what the most common things are that players dislike about the game to see if you might be one of those people. That's probably the best way for me to try and get someone to decide whether they want to buy this or not, is to take the 5 most common things people dislike about the game, see if that person agrees with it or if they don't really care for those things. And then, hopefully, they are able to make up their own mind. I mean, it is one of those things you've got to make up your own mind for, because these games are just... I mean, you look at the Steam right now, 80% of people that own the game currently like it. So there is people that like this game. It's, you know, you can't say it's a bad game because people like it. You might think it's a bad game and you're completely entitled to, but to say it is a bad game and everyone will think it's a bad game is bollocks. Because some people don't think it's a bad game. I'm not saying it's a good or bad game. I'm saying make up your own mind if it's a good or bad game. Oh, bloody, I always go for that trap. I always fall for it. Oh, it's so predictable. But I think we can kill these things fairly quickly. Yeah, pretty darn fast. Right, we'll do some... I wasted my AoE ability because I'm a spanner. Let's, should we go for a melee? Let's see what a melee looks like. Lol. Not too bad. So we've got 3, which is our hemorrhage. That's going to hallucinate enemies as well. Honestly, I can't quite remember what that is. Did they fix the respec? No, my friend, they have not. The respec is... Well, it doesn't need fixing per se, because this is intentional. I don't know if you're behind the times, but the respec was never intended to be free. It was always going to be based on a consumable system. That was always their intention, apparently. I'm only repeating what they've said. And they basically decided to fix the bug and not implement the next system. I know, a little bit of an unusual choice there, Neocore. I would kind of rather you didn't change it. However, I can actually see a little bit of logic in changing it now so there's not too much of an alarm when the game goes live. The consumable is going to cost you about 1,000 credits and it's going to reset 1 skill tree. Yes, there is lots of room for debate on this. Lots of people not particularly happy about it. But hey, it is what it is. We don't have the consumable at the moment. It's not within the game. They are saying that they would like to implement it, or one of the staff has said he really wants them to implement it before launch, but it's not here. And now, my friend, you are up to date. Now you are on the same page. Right. It is a very 40k game. Yep, absolutely. A good 40k game. You see, that's the trouble, my friend. That's... If me and you were locked in a conversation right now, Simple, I would say absolutely, I want a good 40k game as well. But what you think is a good 40k game could be completely different to me, because it kind of depends if you even... Let's take a few variables here. Variable A, does the player even like top-down ARPGs? Because if you've played Path of Exile, Diablo 3, and you think, or you dislike the story style, you dislike the cutscene style, you dislike the combat style, you dislike click to move, if you just dislike the genre, then you might not like the game, and you might say it's a bad 40k. I mean, we've seen plenty of people criticise the game because it's not a twin-stick shooter. I mean, it's not a twin-stick genre, and yet the people prefer a twin-stick game, so they say it's a bad 40k game because it's not a twin-stick game. It's confusing because everyone wants different things. Everyone wants different things, so that's why it's sort of... I mean, I try and sort of every now and again just sort of empathise with developers a little bit as to sort of... You're trying to make something that invariably will not please everyone, which I think is why when people refer to games as art, I think that is probably a more accurate way to do it, because you can try and please the majority, but then you might even not end up making a good product. That's confusing, isn't it? It's confusing. But many people won't like this because it's gone for different development choices. Like a lot of ARPG players won't like this game because it's got a fixed weapon system. Many people didn't like Guild Wars, even though they implemented the system incredibly well, of having a fixed skill to weapon sort of system. They did it incredibly well. It was a really good game, I think. And yet lots of people didn't like it because they didn't get to make their sort of quote-unquote own skill combination. And that's basically when a lot of people say they want to make my own build. That's what they mean. They want to make their own skill combination. So it's complicated, isn't it? And I do think that there will be a lot of 40k players that don't like, let's say, indie-style games, just games that do things a little bit different. Not that all indie developers do that, but there will be players that don't like anything that's not the meta. There will be ARPG players that don't like it because it doesn't do traditional ARPG things. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. There's going to be people that don't like ARPGs that are 40k fans, etc., etc. The list goes on. All I'm trying to say is, I think it's very, very understandable that Total War Warhammer went down really well because it's an RTS and we're tabletop players, many of us. If we're familiar with the hobby, it really makes sense that you're actually going to really enjoy a tabletop game, sort of an RTS game. Granted, it has a little bit of a janky sort of turn-based feature to it. That's a little bit odd, but I feel like we can accept that as 40k gamers, as tabletop players. Even if you haven't played the tabletop and you're just aware of it, it kind of makes an RTS seem a little bit more appropriate. And I feel like Total War has a massive advantage in that. And Total War just did the right thing at the right time too. Fantasy died, or rather Games Workshop killed it, and there was Total War Warhammer, the shining beacon of light and hope, saving our beloved hobby from the piece of shit that is the whatever the Emperor farted out following the frickin' disaster of a mess that whatever happened. What's up, Grace? I am good, my friend. I am good. Currently rambling about how I think the game might go down post-launch. I do think people will like this game, but I don't know how many of them. That's all I'm going to say. Keep it incredibly vague. But I think that there will be room to discuss. Like, if someone says, do not buy this, it's bad, I think there's plenty of room, even right now, to say, well, there's people enjoying it, so there is something to enjoy within this game. And I think, as someone mentioned not too long ago, for many, it does nail the 40k vibe quite well. For some, it doesn't nail the sound effects. I think that's something which many of us could probably have a little bit of beef with. And having played Space Marine yesterday for a couple of hours, granted it's sort of a third-person view, so I can still click on these. So you're going to have a different type of sound within a third-person game than an aerial view. But I did like the sounds coming from that game. It was nice. The bolter, all of that sounded really good. Are they going to do another developer stream on Friday? Chas, fuck knows. I have absolutely no idea. They were going to do one about 4 weeks ago, then maybe 3 weeks ago, then maybe 2 weeks, then maybe this week. I have no idea if or whenever they're going to do these developer streams. They were going to be weekly. I have no idea. Unfortunately, they're just not telling us. They're leaking information, which is good in the forums, and if you're not interested in the forums, I will leak it to you via the weekly video sort of recap stream where we do an hour and just talk about what's happened this week. But I have no idea what's going on with these streams, to be honest. They supposedly are coming. I have no idea when or how they're going to manifest. I know that they want to do one on endgame builds and they want to do one on character customization. The fact that they've not happened probably means that they've not quite wanting to show something, but there you go. Yeah, simple plasma weapons are definitely the weapon of most frequent criticism. I like the globular type of, and I hope you know what I mean when I say the globular sort of sound effect that comes from plasma weaponry, where you get a powerful gloop, but in a lot more of a bassy way, if you know what I mean. It sounds like a ball of liquid is being fired rather than something that's borderline electric. And that's what I think I dislike about this current plasma weaponry. You're right, it's got the sizzle there. It's definitely got, if we listen to this for a second, something very electric about it. Something very, very electric. I could specialise in revealing the good co-op games you might not know about. That would be a good vid series, actually, to be fair. That probably would. I mean, in regards to 40k, are you thinking, Grace, or opening this up to the wider world? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even if you've played Deathwing, the plasma weaponry within that nails it very well. Very, very well. I think it's the Spear of Caliban within that. And granted, it's a plasma cannon, but even that the plasma... even the Spear of Caliban, sorry, sounds really meaty, which is basically like a plasma rifle. It's a modified plasma cannon, I believe, technically, but functions like a plasma rifle. But that I think nails it. It's sort of boo 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 boo, but more of a globular blah 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 sound. Love it, absolutely love it. I'm hoping that the patch helps Deathwing. I will be honest, I'm really struggling to summon up any motivation for it. I won't go into too much detail, but I've played everything in that game. I've completed it. I've done everything. And to just give me visual customization and some slight weapon tweaks, even if you're changing my rate of fire and adding a new class, I don't really want to come back to a game I've completed to death just to try a new class. It's not a MOBA. You can't just give me a new hero and expect me to get another 500 hours out of a game. It doesn't work like that. Unless I see a lot more to do within the game, I can't get myself motivated. For the main reason, I completed it on the hardest difficulty several times. For me, there's no more challenge in the game. Put it this way, I play games to achieve things, to learn the craft, to get better at doing something, to achieve things, to learn what I need to do the thing that the game wants you to do. And I've done that. I have done that a lot within Deathwing. Even when it was bad, I still did it then. And that's what I need. I need more to achieve. I'm not entirely sure if there is much within the patch. I believe that they're just going more with the random mission types and customization. I think it's going to go down really well on console. I do think that. I think that the console will accept it. It's hopefully going to come against a different audience to Vermintide, because to be honest, the game's combat complexity is much more beginner friendly than Vermintide. There is a lot less you need to learn about the game. You just sort of need to shoot stuff, which is cool, which is actually quite nice. And it's sort of yeah, Vermintide, I've enjoyed Vermintide. I've burned out a little bit on it, I will be honest. I played it a lot for a few weeks. Now I think that was a little bit of a mistake. Like, I played it a lot. At least with this game, if I play this a lot for 4 weeks, post-launch, there's going to be new content being released, so you're playing this more like an MMO player, which I really dig. I like that concept. Get out of it. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So that's, yeah, that's a thing. That is a thing. Pow. And pow. Come on. Right, now where is this thing we've got to do? Up here, right. Vermintide has a skill gap, though. That is one thing to take into consideration. Like, it is a good game. Do not get me wrong, but Vermintide has a type of playstyle you have to learn to do the hard difficulties that may, on its own, isolate a certain... I don't really want to... I want to go around here and touch that box. Damn it! The box! No! Tic-tac attack, how's it going, my friend? What's it like compared to other Warhammer games? Oh, that... If you're asking about how does Martyr compare to other Warhammer games, you cannot compare it to other Warhammer games, because it is the first ARPG. You can compare it to other ARPGs, but it depends what you like, my friend. It depends what you like. If you like ARPGs, you might like this. If you really... Oh, man, that's a really hard question, actually. That's a really tough one. Guys, what do you think? How does this compare to other 40... I mean, there are things you can compare. Sound design. The sound design in this is all right. It's all right. I'm not gonna toot their whistle too much. It's all right. The animations are all right. It was never something that they were going to excel at as an indie company. You're never going to have... Well, you can, actually. Some of them do really amazing things with tiny staff, but the combat units and the visuals for many people is done well. The art, the style, the aesthetic compared to other 40k games, some would say has sort of nailed it. The sound background music soundtrack is fairly good. Fairly good. Don't get too hopes up, but it's fairly good. The 40k lore and immersion is pretty good. Pretty good. The story and delivery, I feel, will be a major selling point. The community, another major selling point. This game is full of nice people. THQ. I'm not familiar with that game, my friend. I'm not familiar with any others of this. Oh, God, a THQ game that looks like this. No idea. I know there was Kill Team, which was the... oh, God, how would you call that game? A twin stick. Actually, a twin stick. Kill Team came out. Oh, do I have a purple single-handed? No. Don't mind if I do. And pop. Oh, damn it, I fell for it again. Where does it actually say if it's a two-hander or a single-hander? Ah, it says it over there. I'd like that to be moved up in the top. Right, that's a two-hander. Ah, there we go. A beautiful-looking sword. Now we need to try and exchange some signums here. We need to actually upgrade a little bit of gear. In terms of... comparing this to other games, I think this game is going to do well when it comes to lore immersion, story delivery. There's not a lot of great story games out there for 40k, let's be real here. There is not a huge amount going. Let's buy some of this stuff and get some purple items. And I think in terms of content delivery, this is probably going to be one of the best. Because there's not a lot of Warhammer 40k games that keep you inside the game long term. That's what I'm meaning. The content delivery plan for this is it's going to be played fairly intensively throughout the years. That's their aim for this game, is they're going to have you, they're going to hold you. They're going to keep you interested in this by keep giving you more stuff each season and more things to do. Yeah, you'll take breaks, you'll go away, you'll come back. But seems to be their aim and ambition, and that's new to 40k, so it might be something much better. This game might survive a lot better than some of the other 40k games. What's up, Jonesy? What's up, Jones, my man? I think this game is going to do all right. I think Deathwing console is going to do well, because it's finally got the changes that it needed to have many, many months ago. Years. I can't even say years. It's not been out that long. That's not fair of me. A feckin' long time ago. Do we have a armor piece yet with a frickin' interchangeable? No, we don't. Sod it. I'm going on my next mission. Ugh. Yeah, I think console Deathwing will go down well, provided it's priced well. Because I would be, even a console player, I would be disappointed if I spent more than $30 on that, because it's not a wholesome game. It's not got the complexity, and, well, maybe with the new patch it will have the sort of the replay value. Maybe. It's hard to say. But the lack of a really... Let's be honest, Deathwing doesn't have a story. It has a sequence of missions, and at the end you blow something up. I'm sorry if I've just spoiled the entire feckin' story of Deathwing for you, but that is the plot. You go there... There's a gene seed here and there. I'm not even spoiling it because it doesn't exist. You can't spoil things that are not present. There just isn't a story to it. So, for me, if you buy a game and a multiplayer game, which is what I'm going to classify it as, because that's really what I feel like it's selling, it needs to have a hell of a lot of features to keep you interested in the multiplayer. The patch might do it. The patch might do it. The enhanced edition, it might do it. I've had fun with Deathwing, and I do get why people say it sucks. I've had fun with it. In some ways, I've had more fun with that than I have with Vermintide 2, which sounds weird. Vermintide 2 is a much better game. Design-wise, everything-wise. It's just got everything more that you want.
Sacred
but there is something about Deathwing that I've found enjoyable. And I can't quite put my finger on it, but I think it is actually the simplicity of the combat. One of my issues with Vermintide is I go try hard. And unless anyone else and everyone else is willing to do the difficulty I want to do, I'll find people that do want to do that difficulty, and that's me, because I like doing the hardest fecking thing I can find and beating it. I don't care how long I've got to bash my head against the wall. And Deathwing was hard, but it just required you to all work together, and it was very doable. Very doable, but again, panicky every now and again, and that was kind of fun. It did nail the difficulty, I think, fairly well. Friendly fire, I feel like it needed to be a core part of the game, in all honesty. I think it just needed to be turned down in the higher difficulties, but Deathwing without friendly fire to me is a bad game. Deathwing with friendly fire, an immensely enjoyable experience. That's how much of a difference that one feature makes, because just being able to frickin' stand there spamming an AoE ability, killing everything in the room, no thanks, that's not, nah. But having abilities that you actually have to watch where you're shooting and watch how you attack, and if your ally's right next to you and you've got the thunder hammer and you're going to blow his nuts off, then that's a little bit of thought process in the game. I like it. A little bit of a skill cap, awareness, all of those things. It's good. I think it was good. I think the game had some good ideas, majorly lacking in content. Majorly. They dumped all their money doing something, and I think it was in trying to make the map look pretty. And they did alright at that. I will cut them some slack. The maps look good. The 40k atmosphere, the cathedral. I mean, if you just sliced that up and stuck it in this game, people would be so damn happy. Granted, you'd have to make some of the corridors a little bit wider, but you get me. That's a thing. That's a thing. That was enjoyed. Okay. Want a specific video topic? Remember the Nightbot command? If you want a specific topic, leave it in the comments. It's good throwing them at me too, because I can chat about them briefly here, but if you feel like a whole video should be dedicated to something, do hit me up and let me know in the comments. If it's in the comments, I just get a little bit more time to digest it. Oh. I need to sort my hotkeys out. They are all over the place.
Be thrice cursed,
Right, we're going to do that. We're going to do a hemorrhage. I think that slows them. Oh, and we're going to use an inoculator. I tell you what we should be doing is using the fecking cover system. I've been lazy gaming for such a long time. I've not actually been using it, despite repeatedly telling people I find it useful. So we're going to use a cover system now, guys. We're going to cover ourselves immensely. Right, and once again, while you're here, guys, anyone new, do feel free to jump on into our Discord if you want people to play with, if you want people to talk to, even playing other games. A lot of us are focused around this, even though a lot of us are taking a break from it at the moment. But if you want to, jump on in. We'll have the Discord link shared intermittently. And there you go. Let's skip. There we go. Lovely jubbly. Lovely jubbly. And I've got a little bit of news as well that I think I could probably leak to you today. We're going to be doing quite a big giveaway around the launch of Martyr, and that's going to be a thing. Oh boy, that's going to be a thing. We're going to be doing a giveaway and a half. You're going to be quite impressed with what we're giving away. And I need to work out the specifics of how we're going to do it, but I think I'll go with one of the giveaway sites where, you know, if you watch on the stream, you get a certain amount of points. If you follow on Twitter, you get a certain amount of points, etc., etc. Just try and sort of join the Discord, get some points there, blah, 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 all of that stuff. That's my plan. So, yeah, keep your eyes peeled, but there'll be a big announcement. You won't miss it. Trust me, it'll be like the sort of the Brexit bus. You won't be able to miss it, and I may deny it ever happened. No, I won't. There will be a giveaway of immense proportions. Quite immense, pretty immense, a little bit, yeah, pretty immense. Let's sell some stuff. Well, can we actually go to the tech priest now? No, of course not. Talk to the Space Marine. Interrogate. This isn't really an interrogation, is it? Hi, how are you doing? Sanguine, I'm good, my friend. What have you missed? I don't know. How long have you been gone? I think you've been gone quite a while, haven't you, my friend? I think you've been gone a fair while. So welcome back. Welcome back.
Completed the sanctified surgical rites and supplied this man with bionic and mechanical.
Never happened. What Brexit? Never heard of it.
To me, Inquisitor.
Never heard of it. No, but honestly, there will, let's just skip this rubbish. There will be a giveaway. There will be a giveaway. I'm not going to commit to what yet. Thank you, Dewey. Thank you. Nice to see you. Where you been this morning, Dewey? You've been AFK. Have you been to the gym? Have you been working on it? Getting that booty ready? Or have you been attending secret dance lessons? Me and Dewey at Gamescom are going to be having a karaoke duel by the sounds of things. Maybe a duet. Maybe if we can convert it to a duet. That way it's non-competitive and he can cover for my complete lack of any tune. I'm hoping that's something that copious amounts of orange juice will compensate for, having never done a karaoke in my goddamn life. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, drinking cheap whiskey will do that to you, do. I don't know if it was cheap, but bad whiskey will do that to you. Oh my word, if anyone's ever tried Sainsbury's Basics whiskey, oh my god, I drank that when I was 18, never again. I think I had a hangover for like 3 days that consisted of a drill bit going through my head, or at least that's how it felt. Good lord. I don't even...
My assumptions were correct.
Having had a headache for 2 weeks, I unfortunately can't say I'm not really a headachy person, but that was a very unusual experience, and it was rough as hell. Good lord, and I only had half a bottle, and it was only a 35 bottle. It was tiny. Good lord, I felt bad. Should have known better, yes. If it tastes bad, stop drinking it. That's, I think, a very good rule of thumb. Or if you start getting a headache, moments into starting to drink something, stop drinking it. Also a good rule. I have a lovely bottle of Peroni at the ready. Have we got any Peroni drinkers in here? And this isn't an alcohol... This isn't an AA meeting now. We're promoting hydro-alcoholic beverages all over the world, but... Have we got any Peroni drinkers in here? One of my favourite lagers, without a doubt. Far, far overpriced. I mean, that used to be $1.75 for a litre. I want to say a litre, one of the large bottles, you know the ones I mean. When did it need to go up to £2.80? When did that need to happen? When all of the other competitions stayed the same. Why? Jack Daniels, we got a JD man in here. Fair enough, my friend. I do like a JD, I will be honest. My coverage of Vermintide 2. Loved it, picked it up. You are very welcome, Sanguine, although you're probably also fair to criticise me for not doing enough of it. I've been slacking a little with the Vermintide 2 footage, I have to say. I know there is a latest patch out. I should check it out. I need to. Two things prevented me, and I will do more Vermintide 2. This isn't an excuse to not do more. Oh, whoa, that's enough of that stuff, Sonny Jimbo. Two things dissuaded me from doing more than I did do. One of which is that I played it a little too much. I played it a little too much for a while, and you know what happens when you do that to a game. It's just dead to you. Even when a patch comes out, you're like, meh. You know, it's like when you've ate too much lasagna. Even though you love lasagna more than anything in the world, even though you'd marry a lasagna, you would adopt a lasagna, you would hug it and read its stories every night. If you eat too much of a lasagna, you just don't want to look at it anymore. Just take it away. Just don't even say the word. And the same thing happened with Vermintide 2 and me. I put so many hours into that. So many. Oh. But unless it's like a meal for 15 people, Dewey, you'll be alright. You'll be alright. The question is, Dewey, is it too meaty? Are you going to complain that there is too much meat in your lasagna? One of my bartenders decided... bartenders are my Discord moderators, by the way, decided a lasagna was too meaty and was disappointed. I say you, what is the world coming to? I don't think ever in my life have I complained something is too meaty for consumption. I'd be quite happy with a pile of meat for a meal. Would not make a particularly good vegetarian, but... there cannot be enough, indeed. Indeed. I mean, even if you just... No, a plate of meats, just steak, no trimmings, just the meat. That would be fine too. Meat, flavoured meat, with meat seasoning. Yep, that would be fine too. I mean, one of my favourite restaurants I've ever been to was a Brazilian, where you sit there and they walk around the room with the various meats, and you get to say, oh, I'll have some of that, please. And just as they're walking away and you've shoved it in your mouth, you say, could I have some more, please? I don't think that's going to last. That was a wonderful experience. I don't know what the Brazilians call it, but oh, wow. It's just meat. It's a meat buffet. I mean, the salads were available. Salads were available, but I wanted to get my money's worth. Good Lord. Meat and mead. Absolutely, my friend. I also make a great dwarf because I'm very good at digging. I don't know if you've seen any of the Deep Space Rock Galactic footage, Sanguine, but if you liked Vermintide 2, there is a small possibility you might actually like this early access game. I'm going to give it a little plug here. I don't know the developers, I don't owe them anything, but I think their game is really good fun. I've really enjoyed Deep Space Rock Galactic, and if you're looking for a cooperative game to play with your buddies, it's a cross between Left 4 Dead, Vermintide, and Minecraft. That's the one. It's a block game, and it's a bit janky and a bit weird, and once you get over the aesthetics, if you're new to block games, you realise they've actually done something very clever. Kill the enemy. Oh, okay, we have to go over here now. Oh, we're unlocking turret missions. That's what we're doing. But yes, it's basically squats versus Tyranids. Absolutely. Absolutely. If they ever allow mods for it and people do like Gene Stealer, it would be amazing. If they put that on Workshop, there would be the best 40k mod in the world. Brazilian meat on swords? Yes, that is a little bit mental. I'll give you that, my friend. Will they take out the limited death counter? I don't think so. It's not there in the story, Grace. It's only there in challenging content. And I actually like it. It's not there in story, so if you're leveling during the campaign, it won't be there. But if you're trying to do a like a turret mission, for an example, I personally do like the system because it means that you can't just continually throw yourself at a mission for hours on end because you can barely make your way through. Like there needs to be a point where you realise as a player, actually, this is just not easy for me. Or rather, this is too hard. And so they're doing it with only certain situations. Hopefully that's sort of good at a happy medium. But yeah, some people will get frustrated by it. But my counter to that would be that that's the very purpose of it. It's a case of... And it's not the best way of doing it, but it's a case of trying to introduce enough thought into the missions that you really pay attention to what you do and you focus on not making mistakes. And it's not the best way of doing it because you can do that by just having a game that involves a lot of skill. This does not. I'm gonna be perfectly transparent about that now. This is not a particularly skill-intensive game. If you've played other ARPGs, you will have a fairly easy time. It's all just about learning what you can do and can't do in this game. That's the main skill cap. Although there are going to be more things to dodge by the looks of it, so we'll see. We'll see. But yes, the death counter will stay. Neocore likes games that are a little bit more punishing, and they've mentioned this a couple times. So they genuinely like having titles that are a little bit harder. Boo, 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 boo. What's the range on this like? Oh, come on. Right, I'll go over here then. Oh, that was in his head. That was actually in his head. Okay, let's kill these. Ho, 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 ho. Wasn't paying attention. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, Grace. Yes, Grace. On the regular missions, like this one here, there's no death count on this because this is campaign. So you can die as much as you like. What other factions will we see? Based on the books, I think Gene Stealer Cult is very, very likely. Not Tyranids. That would make no sense. Also, that would make no sense in terms of lore and canon. If Tyranids were here, they would be blowing this planet up faster than you can say glory to the Emperor. It would... Gene Stealer Cult, however, possibly. There are situations where you will find a small Gene Stealer cult. Rather than blow the whole bloody planet up, you will just try and eradicate the problem. If you're unsuccessful and they've basically gone too far undercover and, you know, that you feel like they've taken over the hierarchy of the planet, yes, probably you will blow it up. But that's obviously what the season system would be about. It would be like, okay, there's a lot of these guys. Do you want to blow the planet up, or do you want to try and eradicate them? And that's kind of, hopefully, where the radical Puritan morality and all that crap will come into play. But I think Gene Stealer cults, very likely. What else do I think? Let's take some cover here for a second while we deheat. I think Elder are pretty likely. I mean, we know Corner coming. We know Corner coming quite soon. Let's just do that. Do a few buffs. There we go. Hey, and a data slate. There we go. Turn that off. And so we know Khorne are going to be in the next Chaos faction, so you're going to see Khorne Berserkers. Hopefully you're going to see some of the dudes riding on the fucking Betel Rhinoceros things. Can't remember what they're called. You know what I mean. I doubt it's the demonic Khorne, to be honest. It will probably... Maybe. I mean, maybe they'll go for a mixture. Maybe. I don't know. It seems possible. Maybe they'll go for a mixture of demonic. Right, let's do some stuff here. Very low. We're going to go for this one because it's guaranteed to give us better success chance, and it's 50-50 for collateral. So this is literally 50-50 that it might be awesome, and if it's not awesome, it's still good. There you go. I'll raid their private vessel. Oh, what's going on? Gene Stealer, impregnate for and give birth. You hybrids. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Gene Stealer cults work on infiltrating human societies, so, you know, that's kind of what they do. Yes, there will be some of them that are a little bit more on the Gene Stealer side, and I'm not going too far into lore because I'm not that knowledgeable on them, but I'm aware of that's kind of how it works. I do think Elder are pretty likely, just given that they're doing Dark Elder, and I can't help but feel that someone around a design table is going to say, we've already got the animations for about half of an Elder unit force. We just need to remove some spikes, take away some murderous screams, do a little bit of reskinning, and we've got ourselves half of an Elder faction. And then obviously add in all of the other bits and bobs that Elder would do. I think that would be very sensible to expect. I mean, they're doing loads of Chaos Space Marine factions for a reason, because you only have to create 3 new units or whatever it is. And, you know, it's... You can say it's lazy, but I say it's efficient. Developers have to find a way to save time, and they've promoted a little bit of variety by doing that. And I mean, I don't see any harm in it. At the end of the day, I mean, let's say you've got 8 plus 2 units for each Space Marine reskin. That basically means, do you want to have something like 5 to 8 Chaos Space Marine reskins, all with some slight variation? Or do you want 1 new faction? Because to me, that's probably actually what the choice was. Something around that ratio. And I'm okay with saying, just give me this Chaos Space Marine variety. Give me the Space Marine variety pack and I'll make do. Because 2 factions is going to get repetitive a lot quicker. Even though, obviously, having loads of Space Marines that are very similar is also very repetitive. And I think they could still go a little ways to make them a little bit more, you know, defined. I mean, you could have some Raptors in there. They're still Obliterators. There's a lot of undivided units that could still be called upon. Yes, some people would probably be triggered if we're killing Obliterators, but we're killing goddamn Hellbrutes, so, you know, it's not that bad. Oh, there we go. Demon Prince. Still pretty sure that's the Nemesis. Ooh, let's kill this. Well, Khorne is coming, Justin. Khorne is coming. Khorne is coming after Dark Elder, so you're looking about 4 or 5 months after release. There will be Khorne. They are the next faction. So that's quite a way. That's quite a way. Developers from Relic also saved their time when they were making Dawn of War 3. I will be honest with you, my friend, I've never even played Dawn of War 3. I heard the reviews. I thought, you know what? People are saying so much shit about this game, I'm just going to pass. And I did. And I'm fairly happy that I did. I mean, yeah, I could pick it. It was on a Humble Bundle even. I think it wouldn't be the end of the world to pick it up and just see the campaign, but I'm not that bothered by it. Yep, Khorne are coming. Khorne are coming. Confirmed. They haven't done a big announcement for it, which is very unusual. They literally just put it in a tiny text box on one of their posts. But Khorne is coming. Which is it? Oh, what is that? What are you doing, Sunshine? Oh, he's a commander. Okay, well, we'll kill these guys first. Cool. That's a weird ability that he just did. Just sort of a heat-seeking, very unimpressive fart. Okay, he was just randomly healing another unit. I mean, this stuff needs work, doesn't it? Like, that ability there that's not dodgeable. What's going on with that? Like, that's just ARPG frickin' basics. And I'm not saying Neocore don't know how to do the basics, but when he does an ability that does a beam, and you don't have the opportunity to dodge it, I can't help but feel that they're just missing out on something that's... I don't get that decision. But anyway, that's just a minor gripe. A pretty major gripe, actually. What's up, Flawed? How's it going? I've heard about the... I've heard enough about Dawn of War 3. I've heard all the videos. I've even done a video on it myself just to say that I'm kind of happy that they've junked it, because now Creative Assembly can actually engage in talks and possibly make a decent 40k RTS. That's my hopes. And they have already, in an interview, said that they would be very, very excited to do that. So, you know, that's something for fans to sort of wet the bed over, I think. Because they make good games. They know how to do it. They have a style as well that just works. And what they don't do is every single time they make a new game, they don't do a completely different feckin' style. What's up, Cookie? How you doing, my friend? Huge loot crate behind me. Well, I'm going back for that. Where did I miss the huge loot crate? I hope you're not on like a mobile and 5 minutes behind. Let's have a little check over here. So we've got one of those and one of those. Ah, a big one. Well spotted, my friend, and it's even on the map. I saw it on the map and thought it was just an inoculator. Only greens, sad face. Yes, we've got to wait for Warhammer 3 first. They've got to finish the current series. Absolutely. And guys, anyone that's interested in this game, following this game, likes this game, doesn't know if they like this game, feel free to come and hang out on the Discord. If we got one of the mods that can share the Discord link again, do feel free to share it without me. Perhaps every, I don't know, every 5 minutes. Let's get it out there, because it's nice to have you guys inside. We've got a really cool community. We've got a great bunch of guys. If you want to ask questions about the game, if you just want to sit there and shitpost about 40k, if you just want to hang out with people and play other games, to be honest, I would say 90% of us right now have played this game so much, we're just waiting for the final launch. But there are still a fair few of us that are playing the game at the mo. But come launch day, good lord, we're going to probably have about 5 Auto Hydra Cabals just from the frickin' Discord. I suspect. We're going to maybe even an Auto Hydra A, B and C team. I mean, we can have our own little football league with the amount of people we've got in there, but it's not... Do it. Just join. Don't... Just do it. Well, it's true, Jones, that it would be difficult. They would have to adapt certain things. Thank you very much, Docky. Thank you very much, Doc. It is true, because, say, the cover system feels quite integrated with 40k to me. I feel like it's actually... and even in Dawn of War 1, they kind of had a cover system with the crater thing, and that kind of worked well. It was a nice part of the game. I don't know how I feel about Dawn of War's cover system, but I do think, given that it's urban warfare, it does make sense to have cover. You know, it's going to be urban on a lot of maps, let's be honest. There's going to be a lot of ruins and stuff. And yes, it's going to be largely ranged, and yes, the Dawn of War kill shot thing was popular, but I think it's doable. I think Total War would figure it out. They have enough experience. Yes, they've not done many sci-fi bits, but vehicles are just going to be like dragons, you know. They just have their own animations. I think it's doable. Very, very doable. It would probably require them doing the most different Total War game that they've ever done, but I think it's doable. Yeah, absolutely. You do not need to download Discord. It's browser-based. You can download the app, but you can just jump on in. It's pretty family-friendly. As a policy, we prefer over 18s. It's referred to as a pub, just because, being honest, when you get enough 40k fans around, things get a little bit thirsty every now and again, and we're all adults, mostly. So we've got a couple of small rules, but if you do join, just check them out. It's all common sense. Just, you know, join, be nice, don't be a dick. That's pretty much the rules in a nutshell. Empire. Oh my god, Age of Empires 4 coming out this year, I hear. Oh my word. Now there's something to be excited about. I am... Whew. Age of Empires, man, that takes me back so far. I've loved Age of Empires so much. Such a good series. Age of Empires 2, spent like my childhood playing that. Pretty much everything I know about history, I know because I played so much of that goddamn game. This is really not the most impressive build, is it? I mean, just killing stuff with pistols takes so long. Oh, I said something. I said a word. That hardly ever happens. Okay, let's take some cover. Take more cover. And that's going to make me take 20% less damage. Boop. But yes, if you want to ask questions, heck, even if you just want to get in touch with me to ask me something, I try and respond to every YouTube comment, every tweet, everything I get, I do try and respond to. Sometimes they slip past, in which case if they do, you know, holler back at me again. But if you want to actually have a chat with me at any point, jump in the Discord. It's the best place to be able to get a hold of me reliably. If not, there'll be Discords that there's plenty of other people that can answer questions or such. But if you want to talk about a video idea that you've got, I don't know, whatever. It's the best place to get a hold of me, and it's a good bunch of dudes and girls. That's right. Don't have any androids yet. Still working on that. Or cyborgs, or attack helicopters, maybe. Oh, that noise still has to go. The range combat in was amazing. Okay. I've never played that, Flawed. I've never played it, but very interesting. Discord link doesn't work. Right, okay. Well, what we'll do is we'll link that. Tell me if that link works. I think you might need to update the link you're sharing, Dewey. I think. Yeah, we've got hashtag females. Dutch Waifu being one. And by the way, guys, anyone watching at the moment, Dutch Waifu also does some content for this game. She's in the chat right now. All you have to do is click on her name, click the little 3 dots, I think it will take you to the channel, drop her a quick follow. And that way you can see a little bit more of Let's Play orientated footage I think she's mainly into. But, you know, she can inform you as to what she's up to. So I will do my thing, and other streamers will be available. Mine are always going to be involving a lot of copious amounts of talking about the game. Lots of rants and rambles. And that helps compensate for the fact that I'm inherently slightly less entertaining. Honestly, that's just, it's what I do. I think back quite a long time. Oh god, this takes me back to when I was first making videos. A little bit of nostalgia, guys. Oh god, it's coming out now. The best thing I ever did was to go on a forum and say, guys, I've done a couple videos. I need you to rip me to shreds and just tell me what you think. And I did that on a Mordheim forum on Steam. And in amongst some, I mean, no one was outright rude, but a lot of people was just like, it's really boring. And that's, you know, knocks your pride a little bit, but you get over it. But one chap in particular, still remember him. I'm going to drop him a DM today, actually, just to give him a little bit of an update. He just basically said what I was good at and what I was bad at, and said stop trying to be entertaining and start talking to people about what you understand of something, because that's something you can do. And I don't even know if that's what I'm good at, but that's certainly what I enjoy more and feel comfortable doing. So that's what this channel is always going to be about, because it's something I can rant and ramble about. I can talk about how the game works, what I like about it, what I dislike about it. The actual game is what I like talking about. Not sitting here talking and making girly squeaky noises. That's not aimed at any streamers in particular, but, you know, I watch a few, and some people are just entertaining personalities. This is always going to be informative. Anyway, rant over, confirmed. Right. Yes, permalinks confirmed. Right, have we got another one? Oh my god, finishing assignments is like bashing your head against a wall. I have to say, the next Total Biscuit. Oh, I don't think so, my friend. I don't think so. Possibly, maybe, one day, who knows? Probably not. Probably not. I'm going to be involved with my 40k niche for quite some time, so give it time. And that's probably the way I'll be sticking for a while, let's say. Let's say. Now, there's opportunity and possibility for me to do some other game reviews and first impression looks. Might be something to consider. I'm hopeful that after enough 40k games are out, maybe you give it a year or two, then it's going to be a little easier to branch out. But, you know, right now I appreciate that that's what you guys are here for, so that's what I want to give. GG, I don't think so. I don't think so. Possibly the sound design is due to be improved constantly, is what they'll tell you. But honestly, I don't think you're going to see the changes you want to see. I don't know. I don't know, my friend. What's up, Oozer? Long time no see. Long time no see. How you doing, my friend? How are you doing? Right, there we go. Pow, 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 pow. Well, the Discord link should be still working, but I have a feeling the next one... I think it's maybe because I generated a new one that the old one has been made invalid. So if you are having trouble with the Discord link, just click on the latest one. That should work. But I have a feeling it's because I made a new one that the old one has been sort of pew-pewed. But there you go. But there you go. Let's move on. Right. And we've got a AoE explosion. Oh, that does kill stuff in one hit. We should probably be using this more often, shouldn't we? It would make these rather painful experiences a bit less painful. Now, downside of this build, it's spamming 2 buttons and intermittently keeping buffs up. But the buffs are actually not the ones I need, so it's primarily just spamming 2 buttons. One of the problems I have with the game. The lack of situational abilities. But you can give the Psyker more situational abilities, but there's nothing to really react to. There's no enemies I need to interrupt. There's no, you know, oh, he's doing this, so I need to do this. I'm hoping in the final game. I'm praying in the final game. Let's hit him with a sword a little bit. Might as well. I've got a sword. Another thing that I have a bit of a gripe with. Why do I have a sword as a Psyker? Why do I want to run up to someone and whack them with my sword? Like, there is no builds in this game that suit a melee Psyker. At all. It's just, it's pointless. It's of no use, and yet I'm stuck with this ability here that's absolutely turd nuggets. And yet, that's kind of what happens with this. I mean, I could go for a 2-handed staff with one ability, and that would kind of help. So maybe I'm just moaning about... No, I think I am actually just moaning for the sake of having a moan there, really. Just the fact that the sword exists, for me, is a little bit of like an attempt to make something work, but... it doesn't make sense. It's not, there's nothing in there in the build system. I mean, yes, you could craft it into a melee. Then you've only got 1 melee attack. I don't get it. I don't get it. Grace, I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of with you. And I kind of feel like they wanted to have a little bit more diversity. Honestly, I think, Grace, it's probably because they thought to themselves, well, if we don't do this, then the melee tree is going to be redundant, and, you know, you're going to have different skill systems between the 2 classes. I have a feeling that's why. They wanted to actually... I mean, maybe we could do this for a comedy video. See if we can actually make a melee Psycho. But even then, you can't equip 2 swords. So you can only go for a hybrid build, which again makes no sense. And there's nothing else that's going to benefit from the melee attacks and melee damage. If you could have 2 swords, I kind of think it could maybe work a little bit. It'd be really weird, let's be fair. It'd be really weird. Yeah. Right. First ARPG set in 40k, will it lead to others? Who knows? One thing I'm sad about, but I honestly don't think we'll ever see one, is a 40k MMO. Although, I do know of a little bit of news coming out regarding one project, which people will have very mixed feelings for, but, ooh. Let's make you explode. Let's have a buff. Let's have a banana too. There we go. Let's see how you do with less armor. Nah, not a lot better. Come on, get slowed. Back at you, my friend. Yeah, Grim Dawn I hear good things about. I really need to play that game. I really do. Really need to have a good bash at it, don't I? It's been... I mean, I've done my little ARPG series with Vulcan. I need to go back and do Van Helsing. I need to do a side-by-side with Van Helsing again so we can actually compare the latest footage of Martyr back with Van Helsing and do a little like how far has Neocore come? 40k MMO. I mean, if you mean Eternal Crusade, there was an attempt at an MMO that ended up being an arena shooter, more like Battlefield, but not like Battlefield. As far as I'm aware, there's no 40k MMO. There was a fantasy MMO that was, even though it was a good game, was not popular enough for them to keep running. And that's why I don't think we're ever going to see a 40k MMO. There's not enough people that would play it. I'm sorry. Blizzard can make MMOs. Star Wars could have an MMO. Obviously, even that didn't last too well. MMOs are hard to do now. With so many games coming out, it's even harder, I think, for games to keep the same level of subscribers each month. And it's... I mean, you go back 15 years, like World of Warcraft, I think it was about that 12 years maybe when it first came out. The competition wasn't there, and it allowed it to just build up and become this ginormous beast of a monster. And it's because it's retained that monster title that it can kind of keep going. But you try and make a fresh one now. You've got the disadvantage of it being compared to games that have been out for 15 years. It's even like making an ARPG. Everything gets compared to Grim Dawn, Path of Exile, etc. that have a fair bit of additional content added. It's not easy to make a new game of like an MMO RPG, or mostly for an MMO genre, I guess. You guys know what I mean. Nearly got the guy. No. Silly Ogren. Your Emperor's the false one. Fun and immersive combat with melee psyker. What a load of rubbish. I do have physical... no, I'm expecting to heat even, so I'm not even buffed as much as I should be. There you go. But yes, I mean, to make an MMO, what I was trying to say is it's hard enough these days to make an MMO without trying to make a 40k one. You know, I just don't see it happening. Just trying to be really... I would love one. As a player, it would be amazing. I just don't think for a second it's actually going to happen. They're glorious games. They really are. I love MMOs. Even if they do eat all of my spare time. We've all been on the MMO wagon at one point in our lives, haven't we? And then we've all said, never again. Never again shall I spend my entire week on a single game dedicated to just farming and doing whatever. Although, let's face it, Martyr does seem to be heading down that direction. It's hard to say how much content it'll have, but it's certainly aiming to be a title that holds you close to it. We shall see, guys. We shall see. I mean, that is a big, big ambition. This is a project of mammoth proportions compared to their previous ones. And there you go. There you go. Right, moving on. But yes, it's very different to Van Helsing, at least, which was to pick up and play and have a little bit of fun. But we shall see. We shall see. Right, let's kill this last room. We've done pretty good today, I think. We've done pretty good. Final Fantasy 15. God, I haven't played Final Fantasy in a long time, Grace. God, that's been quite a while. I love Final Fantasy. 10 was so good. I know like 7 and 8 were often referred to as the best, but I really like 10. I really like Blitzball. It's just so much fun. Oh my god. You don't regret it after wet... Fair enough, my friend. Many people don't. Many people don't. I mean, I wouldn't say I regret spending time in MMOs, but I sometimes, you know, you wake up and you think, oh my god, what have I done with the last 5,000 hours? You know, it happens. Gamer's remorse. Guys, once again, I'm going to just share the Discord link over here. Just get this spammed on in. I never played Final Fantasy IX, my friend. I actually never did, Dewey. I never did. I know, sad times, sad times. Now, we're going to crack on. And we're going to do one more mission. We're going to crack on and do one more mission. We're going to round this up to 2. I tell you what, we should probably have Nightbot do a command where they share the Discord link. I mean, that would make sense, wouldn't it? That would make sense. That would be organised. Oh, that would be organised. What are we going to do? We've got a priority assignment, investigation. I think they're the same bloody thing. All of these words actually get confusing for me. I really dislike this stuff. You know, like in most games you just have a quest and an elite quest. And that's kind of how we go. But in this, oh my god. Now that one works. Okay, now we've got a working link. Right, bought it on PC due to sales. Okay, it feels much lighter, optimised and generally improved. Okay. Am I right in thinking... Begone, Thought. Am I right in thinking that Final Fantasy 15 was the first game available in 8K? I heard that. I don't know if I heard it right, but I heard a developer talking about it anyway and thinking, what the actual hell? Come on. Oh, was he damage immune when he holds his shield up? Good lord. Right. Boom, boom, boom. Good job. Good job indeed. Now, I need to use this goddamn AoE a little bit more. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. I have to say, even building a build, even when I've got this upgraded so I do double damage on single hit for every single target I shoot, I really can't say that this is an enjoyable build to play. It's pretty goddamn dull. AoEs just make you... Stop that, please. The most annoying thing in the world. Partially because you've got the wrong picture, but we've already gone over this. You can't hear a word they say. Stop that. Stop it right now. I don't want to have to mute these guys just because they're on a mission with me. But that voice is so aggravating. So aggravating. Ugh. All because it wanted to sound more canon. Stop it. Ugh. Highlights from Hydra. Me trying to avoid as hard as I can in-game speech. Something I've never done before in a game in my life. I'm really expecting it to change, though, by launch. I'm definitely expecting that to change by launch. It's just really aggravating it. Oh, it's like listening to someone scraping a chalkboard. Right, come on. We're getting there slowly. Slowly, slowly. Yes, Assassin's probably my favourite because I really like the dodge to mouse button. One of my only issues with the Assassin is there's not enough to actually make you want to dodge, which is really weird. I like all of the classes. I like the Crusader's actual slow thumping play style. I think it's really nice. It's sort of... Please stop that. I like it. It's good. It's... I don't know what it is about the Crusaders' weaponry and animations. I just like it. Maybe just the aesthetics of being a tanky mofo and, you know, just jumping on in there. But I like the Assassin's reactionary ability. That's really nice. Come on. Oh. Take it like a man. Come on. Stop being damage immune. Uh-oh. There we go. The guardsmen are actually doing something. Dodge? What is this dodge thing? Indeed. I like dodge to mouse. I actually really like it. I didn't think I would, but I do. It's really, really good. So that's a thing. What else? What else? What else? The Psyker has the build customization going on, and that is definitely something that is worth mentioning. Interchangeable skills means if you enjoy primarily the build craft, then the Psyker is very interesting. But the builds, as you're seeing, range from very interesting to very repetitive. I'm just not sure come launch day what I'm going to be. Probably a melee Crusader. I'm going to be honest, I think I'm going to probably rock a melee crusader just to try and make things a little bit more interesting and challenging. I'm not sure though, but that's what I'm leaning toward. But I will level of all three, of course. I mean, it would be silly of me not to. Yeah, flying around a map like a ninja with the assassin is definitely a thing. It's definitely a thing. I mean, you've got a lot more maneuverability with the assassin. A lot more. You can backflip, you can dodge, you can duck, you can dip, dive. Like, even the two-handed power sword has two. It has two different leap abilities. Which... Oh, health's getting a little low. Excuse me, health. There we go. And we finally... What I need is something a little bit more spammable, because finally I do a little bit more damage. Because we've got some warp heat. I need to actually have a spamming button for this build. Psyker, you'll savour the moment on launch. Yeah, fair enough, my friend. Fair enough. Well, with the extra skill tree with the Psyker as well, we're going to be getting the telekinetic skill tree. The build customization's really going to be there. It's really going to be there. You're going to have a lot of options. I mean, in terms of actual skill quantity, I think it's going to be dwarfing the other classes, because even if you compare all of those weapons you get on the other classes and all of the different types of skills, you compare that with 6, 12, 18, 24 abilities we're going to get in total. 24 different abilities in any combination, and you can have anything between. I mean, one of them could be grenade and one of them could be armor, but you can go for a minimum of... sorry, you can go for a maximum of 5 of those abilities all combined together. You could mix that with a weapon, you could mix that with a staff. If you don't want to have this many, all you need to do is go over and get yourself a staff, a two-hander, equip that, and then you go back over here, and then I've now got... Ooh, I've got 2 extra abilities here that I could use if I filled these slots in. So I could put in foreboding over there, and I could put another one in. Let's go with another one, endurance up there. Loads of Psyker abilities. Good lord, there's loads. That is something I'm curious about, because I do really like the Psyker that specialises in basically being high heat, spawning loads of problems. That might be something I actually go for come launch, because I do genuinely find it the most interesting class to play, because you get to spawn additional enemies to dodge, which is so weird that I actually like the masochistic nature of a Psyker in order to make it interesting, you know? But that, for me, makes the game a lot better. A lot... Why are you still not there? Good lord. Guys, we're rounding up to about the 2-hour mark now, and that's just about where I wanted to get to today. We wanted to get a couple of hours in playing on these characters, playing on this character in particular. What I'll probably do is have a little break, and then we might come back and do a little Vermintide 2 stream later on this evening. So... Again, hopefully you guys have found this interesting. Keep your eyes peeled, because I'm going to be putting the video out in about 15 minutes, maybe 20, because I need to make the thumbnail. And then you're going to be able to watch yourself a video on should you buy this game. Should you buy this game? It's hopefully going to be something you can share with your friends. And I'm not going to be telling people to buy it or not buy it. I'm not interested in that at all. I'm just going to hopefully tell them what they might like or not like about it, and help them try and make a goddamn choice. It's hard to do. It's hard to buy good games these days. But guys, once again, I'm going to share it down here in the link. If you're not a member of the Discord, jump on in, come join us, come hang out, come chat about the game. There's going to be guide sections. There's going to be other build sections for Martyr closer to release. Right now, a lot of the stuff's just not really particularly relevant for me to sort of post within a Discord format, but there will be places where you can conveniently access guides. There'll be some sticky posts and stuff like that to, you know, make yourselves learn more about the game more easily. It's all going to be on Steam too, but I find Discord's a really easy sort of platform to manage all of this, and I think it's going to go down really well. Hopefully it's going to be the place to be. Anyway, guys, you have yourself a great weekend. I'm going to crack out my Peroni and have myself a little chill out. Take care, guys. All the best.